I'm preparing for Bank PO examinations of 2019. How should I prepare for my GK, GA, BA, section? Well, this is the question which has been asked to us for more than 100 times now in last 5 days. So we thought let us make a comprehensive session so that it is answered to everyone. Okay, so I have tried to put in a lot of fact together. It has really taken me a lot of time to consolidate it for you. So I welcome you all for this session now. Let us see together all the facts that I have collected for you, and then let's see if we can make a sense out of, let's make a strategy about what we can do for this section for 2019 exams. Okay, so let me start with the easy question first. When should I start? The answer I think you already know. Yeah, it's very simple. You have to start now, and I'm getting you to speed with this session. You will know everything that you need to know about what this part of examination, this section of examination is all about. That should not be of any problem. There will not be any problem regarding that. Okay, so this is the next big question now with all the aspirants who have some exposure to it, who are new to it. They all have this confusion. How many months are we going to prepare? 3, 6, 9, 12. You have multiple choice question here with variety. I think there should be a 4 also somewhere in this option. Okay, so what you should do? Let's again not speculate or say something or pose my opinion that if you do 3 to 4 months, or let's say if you do 6 months or if you do 7 months, it will be all good. Let us look at the trend. Let us look at the data. What does the numbers say? Okay, till last year I think this was accepted common sense wisdom that 3 to 4 months before examination date, if you prepare mains examination date, if you prepare, you are safe. 30 to almost 30 out of 40 is almost guaranteed. Yeah, this was the common wisdom. But let us see what has happened, why confusion has arisen. So let me just move out of the screen here and show you what I have done for you. I told you I'll give you some objective data here. What I have done, I have taken the question. Yeah, this is the column here, all the questions, yeah, along with the answers. I'm not taking the guarantee of the answers. I just put it here for you as just trying to consolidate all the data here. There is something else that I want you to see. Just look at these category. Okay, so what I have done is classified them under current or static. Then these topics as banking awareness, day year, economic survey, award, and then subtopic as to exact if this is banking awareness, which topic am I talking about. Not just that, if you look at this column, what I have done for you, I have also found out the piece of news, on which date it appeared, that exact piece of news, and then I have taken the month. So if you're interested, click on this link and you can read that news in detail, so that you will have an idea about if this is the news, what kind of question was actually asked in your real examination. So this is the data that I've consolidated for you. Everything is there in the sheet which I have put in the pinned comment. You can go there. What I've done is this entire exercise I have done it for you for SBI PO 2018, your IBPS PO 2018 and RRB PO 2018. Not just this, if you just leave this month date news part, I have done the same thing for you for all these 3 examinations for 2017 also. I don't think you need to go beyond that. Okay, so all the questions with the answers, with their category defined for the latest examination, these 3 examination, month date and the news. Everything is there at your disposal for you to verify yourself, to go through these and have a feel of what is actually tested in these examinations. Okay, so you do not have to believe any hearsay. You do not even have to take my word. Go back, look at these sheet. Even if you want to verify the data on this sheet, you can do that. I have taken it from 4 or 5 different sources. I have verified and have put it for you. Okay, so what does these numbers tell me? Let's look at it objectively. Then what happened? Your SBI PO 2018 examination, which was held on 4th of August, of course 2018 we are talking about, we had 13 questions from July, 7 from June, 4 from April, May, again we had 4 questions, Feb and March 2 and 1. And if you look at this general and old, I'll tell you, I'll explain in detail what I mean by general, and old is beyond February. So it was, I think, January, and couple of questions from last year also. There were questions which were asked. But if you look at, even till your your SBI PO, you look at this and you see 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, last 4 months, right? So it still makes sense, right? May, April, May, June, July. Yeah, most of the question. If you leave this four general question, it could be the questions which of course do not appear on your newspaper but are somehow related to banking or the uh, say section which the examiner is interested in testing you. Uh, the other which you might have thought of leaving here is this, right? 2 plus 1 plus this old, so it was still 5. So 4-month formula could have still worked, but you see there is a trend because all these three examination are conducted by the same body. Yeah, I hope you know that. I think it's the IBPS only which sets the for all your IBPS, RRB, IBPS PO as the name suggests, and SBI PO also has given it to the IBPS guys only. That's my understanding. They set the paper. So if you look at it, here also you have that sense of that you have to do this 6 month, some general reading and general awareness that you should have about the banking sector. Yeah, plus there can be question which can go beyond 6 months. This was very evident even in 2018 4th of August test of SBI PO. Let's see what happened in RRB PO. And there was lot of hue and cry over, suddenly they felt that they were cheated, the students were cheated here, they suddenly gave question from last year and last to last year and whatnot. Let's objectively see what actually happened there. September 30th, yeah, common sense said, yeah, what, June, July, August, September, right? This is what, there are some very smart guys who would have just thought about July, August, September, yeah, and they went ahead with this. September there was zero question, right? August, let's see, there were 4 questions, and July there were 7. So they were able to score just 11 out of 40. Any sensible guy, even with the earlier wisdom of 3 to 4 months, had he taken this 13 into account, he would have scored 24. He will still cry because he will see at least 16 question of questions which he will have absolutely no clue about, and if he had not done that regularly. But let us look at it. Let us look at it again and see, was it really so much of mark. Let's look at it. How many old questions beyond March? How many questions are there? Just one. Yeah, there are general understanding just 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months if someone had done, he was again in course of 34 to 36 marks, right? So I don't think they cheated in any way, right? But this was the common wisdom that 3 to 4 months was enough, and this created all the problem. Now, here there is another catch. You will say this is not going to 6, this is going to 7 months. I was also surprised. Trust me, if you would have asked me whether September month will come, I would have said till 15 September something, at least 1 or 2 question I was expecting. But there is strange, I am not sure about for what reason they have chosen not to give question from the examination month. No question from August, no question from September, no question from November here. Okay, so I'm not saying that will always happen, but yeah, 6 to 7 months is what you should target. Let's see, this is something we had, everyone saw this happening. Yeah, we cried, we checked back, and we knew that at least 6 months we have to do. Then came IBPS November on 18th of November, and then just look at the marks distribution here. 15 from July, just 1 month, 15 questions. Just look at this. I think SBI PO and IBPS PO somehow they want to make it of the similar difficulty or slightly more difficulty. These guys chose from July, and here, and these guys also chose only from July. I really do not understand why 15 such abnormal number from 1 month. Yeah, and let's see. Yeah, October 4, September 3, June, August, May. Again, if you look at this, so May, June, July, August, September, October, if you will see, this is roughly all these would have given you a 30 plus score. Yeah, general 3. But look at this. They ensured that Jan, Feb, March, April also put together 1, 2, 2, 2, something like this. A breakup of these questions gave you another 6 mark. So they have gone ahead and asked you for almost 10 months now. Yeah. Again, simple, 6 to 7 months. Clearly you should do. Yeah. Looking at the trend. Yeah. If I have time, I'll go back. up to a year maybe. Yeah, 10 months for sure. That is what it is already asked. But if you look at it, the more I go beyond 6 months, the returns are diminishing, right? And they're diminishing really quickly. So all that sheet, as I told you, is available for you to also analyze. These are the number that I have, kind of hand entered and hand, put it, typed it for you here so that you do not have to waste time. Okay. So the advice is very simple. What you should do is, if you look at the slide, this is very same slide which I had used for the strategy for IBPS PO. There I said 6 months, right? Should be enough. If you have time, go back as far as you can. Here I'm saying minimum 6 to 7 months. Now you cannot do without it. So 6 to 7 months we have to do now. That's as simple as that. Let's keep it clear on that. And if you have time, let's go back 10 months, 11 months, 12 months, but every single month that you are reading, after 7, 8 months, your returns are decreasing. It's diminishing marginal return which is happening. Every 1 month is giving you lesser marks. Okay, so just keep in mind, balance it 6 to 7 months compulsory. Okay, let's put it like that. Okay, that sounds okay. Yeah, that's what I have put on this slide also. But what should we do? Where should we focus on? Newspaper is endless, right? Someone who has just begun his preparation would find, do have to look at the Rahul Gandhi statement that is making, or how Modi ji is doing his rallies. No, absolutely not. None of these are ever asked. MOUs between the governments, last 2 years I have not seen a single question on MOUs between, if our minister goes to say Tajikistan, if there is some bilateral treaty. No, not a single question is asked. I'm not saying that cannot be asked. I will not be the judge on that, but it's not asked. In last 2 years, highly unlikely they will start with one or two questions. If even if they UPSC, it might be a relevant topic. Not here. Okay, so we have to understand what is asked. Okay, that is something that we need to do now. Understand what is generally asked in this examination. What is the scope of this examination? What kind of detail I need to enter into when I'm reading a news? These are the things that you need to understand. Otherwise, you will waste endless time here, and you will feel it's huge ocean which is sure shot that you will get drowned into. Yeah, so let's try to understand what they're really focusing on. Okay, again, let me move out of the screen here, and this is how I'll try to classify. If I'm looking at all the questions, I'm breaking them down into static, current affairs, banking affairs, okay, and the general questions. Okay, I'll tell you exactly what these are. Static: country capital, dams, river, headquarters of international organizations, stadiums, airport, day or year, national park, festival, dance, etc. These are the topics which I'll put as my static. Okay. Then what I'll put in current affairs? All the government schemes. Okay, if Modi ji launches an app, or if say state government, something like Mamta Banerjee ji did about one person one car for all her cabinet members. Sports, important personality, some important event where India is associated, even if they are not winning the medal, or even at international stage, places where India is winning the medals. Appointment, significant appointment. Some MD level appointments. Yeah, that's what you have to see. Not all appointment, and that also we'll see how many from sports appointment and awards and obituary. All this put together also will not give you more than 2 marks in each examination. So you have to say how much time you have to actually put in these topics also. Government, very important. State government, very important. Yeah, these two are very important. We'll see their breakups also. Yeah, banking awareness, all the news related with RBI, small banks, payment banks, right? Major bank. So small bank, payment bank, digital wallets, I think I have not mentioned here, all your differentiated banking that we are talking about. Your banking abbreviation, banking headquarter, and old bank news. You'll see these are not directly current affairs. Yeah, what I'm doing, all the current affair where banking news are involved, I'll be putting under these. But these banking abbreviation, banking headquarter, and old bank news, you'll see this can come under both. Yeah, it can come under the current affair also, it can come under the static part also. So what I'm doing, if I get a news of these topics, yeah, in that month in which the examination is getting conducted, or the scope of that examination, I'll call it as banking awareness. Else, instead of calling it static, I'll call it general question. Yeah, static, I'll keep it limited to these things. things that I really do not like to study about because they are endless. How many dams and rivers do you think you will be able to remember? 100? Just look at Google and find for yourself how many dams or water bodies with significant size are there. It is not in hundreds, it's in thousands, right? National parks, how many national parks do you think you will be able to do? And you add to it the other reserves and all the the protected areas. It'll become again a huge number. Festival dance still controllable, but again, how much return am I getting on my investment? That is what I will see. Look at this: general, economics, finance, insurance. This is other than the banking news, and in this sector, this is what I will call as general. And this is generally they are not related to news in your newspaper. This is common understanding. Over the time, when you read the newspaper, you get these understanding. And then I told you, if I'm not getting the news for banking abbreviation, bank headquarter and old bank news here, I'll put them under general. Let's say, old bank news, YONO was launched a couple of years back, right? A year back at least. So what happens now if some question comes on it without it being mentioned in the news, I'll put it in the old bank news. That's general understanding I should know. Yeah, that's how I have classified the entire information, and I have put it this kind of comprehensive. I'll not say it covers everything, but it gives you a good idea of what are the topics that you are generally asked. Okay, so do you see any MOUs here? Do you see all the political campaigns here? No. So these are the areas of focus, right? This is where you should concentrate on. Okay, let us again look at the table. Let's see if I have classified it like that. What does my numbers say? Again, I have counted it for you. SBI PO, banking awareness, we had 5 questions. That's in 2017. It increased to 10. Yeah, what is this banking awareness? It's there in the current affair. I am having the pieces of news which I can, ascertain to these numbers, right? So there are 5 news which I can find in the newspaper talking about RBI, payment bank, etc. during the period of the examination, the scope of the examination, I should say. But there were 10 such questions in SBI PO 2018. Look at the current affair, roughly same, right? 20 and 19, right? Look at this. General question. What was the general question? Questions on finance, bank abbreviation, I told you, if I'm not getting the old bank news, abbreviations, I think I've already told you. Yeah, all these, LTVs and all such questions which are generally or they were in news at some point in time. I should have that understanding about them, but I cannot find them in newspaper during that scope time of the scope of the examination. Okay, that I am talking about 6 to 8 months. I'm not able to find that news. Then I'm putting it in general. So there were many such news in 2017. Look at SBI PO 2018, it reduced drastically, and where it has increased the banking awareness, which they can actually find in the newspaper. That's a major change. If you look at static, and why I have put in bracket here, the reason also I'll tell you. Uh, if there is a question which talks about say there is a day which is asked. Okay, so where will I put say asteroid day? Where should I put it? Should I put it in static? Again, if you look at all the days that are asked in last, if I'm looking at your 2 years at least, I'm talking about all these 6 examination, never have they asked beyond again the scope of examination. Again, I mean 6 to 8 months before your mains examination date. It does not generally cross that time. So again, you have to read daily, and the day question when it comes, will be asteroid day or Nelson Mandela Day. It has to be something which you read on the daily basis, and again, it's that there in that time frame of 6 months. Okay, let's look at your IBPS PO 2017 and 18. What happened? Banking awareness. All these 7 pieces of news could be traced back in the newspaper. Look at what has happened here. Current affair has increased from 19 to 30, and which has taken the hit? The general questions. Again, here they were very less, just 3 questions. I think we will look at this entire paper of IBPS PO 2018 shortly, and look at this static. I have put 2 questions here in bracket. Otherwise, if you will see, this has become from 6 to 0. Again, I'll tell you when I'm doing the question paper, again I will discuss this elaborately, but there were 2 questions, right? which were asked here. One was the Kharchi Puja, right? Kharchi Puja, this was there in the news also. No, will you take this festival as a static question, or will you take it as a question which is there in the news? I can trace this in the current affair. So should I call it static? So some amount of discussion we can have, some amount of debate, but it gives you a holistic picture about what is the general trend, right? I hope there should not be any debate on that. We clearly see all these examinations are really doing away with the static part. SBI continues. IBPS PO clearly has gone down. And where they are focusing on the current affair and your banking awareness. What is this banking awareness? All the current affair news which I can find in the newspaper, right? Let's look at RRB PO. This has seen the most dramatic shift. In RRB PO 2017, there are 14 static, out of which I could have called these 4 as something which I could have found even in the newspaper, right? But 14 static, just look at it. This was bad. 2 questions from wildlife sanctuaries, and just think about anything and everything that I told. Dams, your country capital, your festival, everything was there in this paper. And then 17 general. Please look at this. All these banking information you are not able to directly find in the newspaper in last 6 months. There were so almost 31 out of the 40 were like this, right? And one question I put, I could ascertain only 39 question. One question I have put in as the general one. Okay, so there's no problem in the count. I'm just telling you. If you look at the sheet, you will realize it. Now, if you look at RRB PO 2018, this changed the game entirely. Look at this, from 14 static to 0 static. Is this, does it not look like a conscious decision to do away with this static? Look at the general question. Again, the trend here. No, most is with the SBI only. Otherwise, these IBPS PO examinations, they are kind of decreasing even the general. One question about say GDP, about what happens if the repo rate changes, what will happen if if inflation increases, and then one conceptual question here and there. What happens if something about a stock exchange question, or like this IBPS PO 2018, under which section the insurance is prohibited to merge with banking industry. So all such questions are like very limited now. Entire focus now is in the current affair, where you can find all the pieces of news in the newspaper in the scope of time, which I mean to say again is 6 to 8 months, right? And look at again the banking awareness. This has also increased. So this is like common trend here. 10 questions, 7 questions, 10 questions. So this is something that that I was really surprised if the section with this 17 general and 14 static can even be called as a general economy banking section. I am not even sure if that was called at that time. Otherwise, this itself would have been wrong. Now let me just remove some clutter and show you the trend currently. Looks very healthy to me. Yeah, banking awareness 10 10 7. Yeah, current affair 19 26 30. General static, clearly they are doing away with. Yeah, general question also on reducing. The SBI is the highest here. Yeah, so this looks like something that I can prepare for, and I've already given you the all the topics that you have to focus on. Okay, let us look at some of the questions. Here, the question actually is not really important. What and how I have classified them, what are the topics that you should be interested in when you are reading the news going forward, is what you should, pay attention to. Look at this. British Indian, Ishwar Sharma, he was 8-year kid doing yoga and all. So he's a British Indian. So if you look at any Indian, any age, if he's getting some international recognition, that's generally asked, right? Mopad SBI, this was, I think, even the students had predicted this will be one question which will be definitely there. If you look at the sheet which is already there in the group, you can look at that. I think every student predicted this could be there, right? First and digital transaction, that's TNB. All very relevant. Current, all these pieces of news here you can find in the newspaper. NABARD plus SBI has gone into Telangana with that joint lender group. It's not about the blockchain technology. I think some of the answer guide we're talking about, that was Telangana with Mahindra technology, right? That was blockchain technology. This is joint lender group. That's what they were talking about. All the news I have pasted for you. You can verify yourself. Setting us asset management company for dealing with NPS over 500 crore. Just look at it. They asked you what is that amount for which it is asked to set. Yeah, again, this is banking awareness. Government is also involved. Foreign exchange RBI, this was in big news. They said, you have to also give the information to Department of Revenue Intelligence, right? DRI. Banking awareness again, ecosystem with CDSL, which bank? Bank of Baroda. Day year, look at this. Again, day year, this is Nelson Mandela. Look at it. Again, it was important. I think this was the 100-year celebration. Yeah. And this was action against poverty. Not generally just the day. They are now looking at, a much deeper significance there. If there is something significant, a significant day, uh, if it impacts the world, that's what they have tested you on. I'll call all these questions very sensible, very, very good questions. 70% of the export, which state? I think they gave you, there were just five states, which constitute to almost 70% of the export. Again, that news it attached. If you look at the sheet, that's from the economic survey, right? That's the January. Yeah. So you have to find out which is not or which is. I'm not sure what that question was, but yeah, this is again from the economic survey. Let's look at the Sabang port, INS Sumitra. It was, Indonesia. They went for the first time. They allowed our these ships to kind of come there, and I think we'll be doing some naval exercises with them also. So all these are very relevant news. Tell me one single piece of news which you think they have, mindlessly put here. Absolutely not. Yeah, just look at this again. All the topics that I told you. Don't you see all the questions are from there? Government Defense Expo. Where was it held? Chennai. I think last year in SBI they were asking the licensing expo. Yeah, this is Rashtriya Gram Swaraj Abhiyan. Modi ji launched with much fanfare to increase the importance of strengthened Panchayati Raj. This was there in news. BSNL wings. This was there in the news. VoIP, right? Voice over Internet Protocol. Budget related question. The telecom, your digital India budget amount to 3073 crore, right? Agri export, what will that become from 30 to 100? This looks ridiculous how it will become that much, but yeah, this was there in the budget. This was there in the budget, right? Two questions from budget. Microdot technology, it was there again in the news. Nothing which comes as a surprise to you. If you have done that 6 to 8 months, all these questions. This was one question which had problem. PM, Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Yojana. There was a problem with MP and Himachal Pradesh. I think there is some answer guide which are also talking about UP, and none of them I'll directly blame. But if the question, I really have not taken that examination, but as students say, which was awarded the best rate, it was Himachal Pradesh. That news again I have attached. But there are multiple other ways in which this question can be framed where the answer could be MP and UP also. Yeah. If you look at the PIB, there was UP has done some 30% reduction, right? MP has brought in maximum number in for the antenatal checkup. So you have to be very careful about this. This was one tricky question. But if it was asked just in the language which I have given you the news for, then it was simple, straightforward Himachal. But this question got many students confused. E-waste recycling plant, again in news. Bangalore, Medini Puraskar, after I think four and a half year, this was reinstituted. This was in the Hindi. This was the forest department which is doing it. Yeah, the Ministry of Forest. So government committee again. If you look at even at the time when we were doing the discussion for SBI PO, at that time we made a list of some 20 committees. You got the question from RRB PO also from there, and even in your IBPS PO. So these are so predictable questions, the government committee. And I hope why I'm showing all these questions is to give you a feel of what you are supposed to read, where you have to invest your time. Yeah, not on things which will really never appear on the test. Look at these. Benami property, how much reward is the government giving you? All the things related to government. Clean Ganga, I'm not actually sure what the question was. The Ganga Praharis along the banks. So UP is also there, your Bihar is also there. So I'm not sure what exactly was the question. If they're talking about the Clean Ganga mission, what is the group of people called? It will be Ganga Prahari, or they could have asked about which state is there or which state is not there. Government, SBM Gramin, Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin, this was like in news many times, multiple times I'll tell you. When it started with, they had to take 10 villages from each of the district, and they had to do this survey. Yeah, government train 18 made, this was again, I am sure this was there in the headline of Hindu also, if the front page of Hindu also, right? Government committee chairman of SDG. Okay, this is again an interesting question. This you can get, but I'm not sure even I had put in my say PDF here. So this is chairman of Sustainable Development Goal. That's chief statistician of India. This was there in the news. I think I missed this question. Yeah, I had not put this. Yeah, so this is again interesting. So committees, any committee you get, make a note of it. Yeah, election commission, no, leave no person behind, leave no vote behind. Exactly, I've just put the news for you. From there only I have put this year the focus was on not letting any disabled people not vote. So because it'll be difficult for them to move out, let's make special effort to bring them to the polling booth and get their votes again. This was the election commission. So government again launched this Dharmendra Pradhan, your alternative resources. This was launched. Government electoral bond validity. I think this is like new at least 10-15 times in last 1 year. 15 days the validity. Loan. World Bank for Poshan Abhiyan was like a major thing, and you know that malnutrition is one of the major problem. Ranking airport. This is second question which caused some confusion. Yeah, busiest airport in India? If the answer was 2017, Indira Gandhi Airport, no doubt. But if the question was which is the fastest growing in India, then it would be Kempegowda. Many of the answer guide has written this Kempegowda, but that will depend upon the question. Please note that. And even when you're reading, you have to be very careful about rankings. Very important. Yeah, it is the second fastest growing in the world and by the actual passenger, and the third busiest in India. Okay, let's look at some more. Yeah, this is one question which you will fight with me and tell me, sir, how come headquarter of Karur Vysya Bank is current? For very simple reason, just I think I have put the news for you. This was recently fined by RBI, yeah, and that's why they had asked you. And Karur Vysya Bank, you cannot, they couldn't have chosen a simpler bank to ask headquarter of. It's Karur, is Karur only. And I think this was already asked in last 3-4 years in IBPS PO. I'm quite sure between 2012 to 2016 it has already been asked also. So, and Karur headquarter, you should just read for all the banks. Yeah, current state news I talked about. I'm not afraid of English. Is Haryana. Yeah, look at this again. I told you this Kharchi Puja and this Karur Vyasa. These two were the static question that I was talking about, which I have put as current. But yeah, in bracket I have put them so that nobody fights with me. I have put relevant news for you. Before you fight with me, just read this news and then tell me whether you will put it as current or will you put it as the static part. Current state West Bengal, yeah, Mamata Banerjee, one person, one car. State Uttarakhand, legal entity to animal. This was big news, yeah. State Tripura, again, look at this. This is again, will you call it as current or will you call it as read the news and then tell me? This three question, in fact, I should have put it. Sulabh International cheapest drinking water, again in Bihar, yeah, Sulabh Jal. These are the general questions. These are the kind of question that I'm talking about. The economics market, emerging market, what is the difference? This is also very simple. One was moving out of investment. So clearly that was not there in the emerging market. India is emerging, a lot of FDIs happen, etc. You could have just commonsensically removed. There was all of these, yeah, and none of these. So these three options, and out of two, there was just one which talked about, I think, growing income. Commonsensically also, I think it was GDP or GNP definition is what they had asked. Finally, this question, I think it was not there. This is there in the Niti Aayog's website. Even I might not have been able to answer, even if I had read 6 months of my say GK here. So UN reviews are expected to put their voluntary national review, VNR. I think the full form they asked. This was a tricky one. Implementation of SDG. If they had asked SDG, then this is very simple. If they had asked VNR, after student come, they say anything. And different places, different portal, they are asking. They are also putting it up as a different thing. If it's sustainable development goal, it's a nothing question. If they ask about VNR, what is any of this VN or R represent, then this is a difficult question. Okay, so let me come back on screen with that. I hope now I have given you good idea about what you are expected to study, looking at the current trend, looking at 1 year before, what was the kind of question asked, what is the weightage of your static, what is the weightage of your current affairs, banking affair, the general questions, how are they divided, how the pattern changed over time, and what are the areas when I'm talking about banking aware, what are the exact questions that I'm looking for. I have given you a good say idea about it, taking actual question, actual numbers into account. I'm not talking about my whims and fancies here. I'm not trying to put my opinion across here. I'm just talking about with the real numbers, real questions here. Okay, so now, I hope you have got clear understanding of what my expectation from you is. It is very simple. read daily, make notes, revise daily. Okay, but I'm sure there are my Bahubali students who will say, "Sir, why should I read daily?" Yeah, the question does not end, and that's what I like about our students. The problem, what is the problem if I read in last 15-20 days as I had been doing earlier, or as my seniors have been doing, and they have been scoring 25-30? Why cannot I do it? For the very simple reason. First reason, now you have seen your seniors were given question only up from 3 to 4 months. Now you have to do minimum 6-7 months. So don't rely on that 15-20 days. I hope I have given you first reason for that. Yeah. And let me, now in detail tell you why I will not advise it. And again, I'll talk with some numbers here. Yeah, this is the okay. I hope this part is very clear. 3 to 4 months, 15-20 days, your seniors versus your situation now going forward, 6 to 8 months, 15-20 days. Don't try to be ambitious. Yeah, I have given you one valid reason for this. Let me give you another valid. This scorecard that I'm showing you is for the successful SBI PO candidates, right? Let's look at their marks here in GK section. Yeah, this 32. Yeah, 32 out of 75 here. All the marks that he has scored out of these four sections in this 200. Yeah, 32 out of 75 of it comes from just one section. Look at him. Again, this 29 out of 78. Yeah. How much is this? Roughly 40% here. Yeah. Slightly less than 40% here. So just one section he's scoring so heavily. Yeah. Do you see? This is creating a significant difference versus those who will take this section lightly. Yeah. Every single mark, I hope you understand, it's very important. There is a student of mine, who has lost it by 0.06 marks. Yeah, so please try to understand the kind of competition that you are facing. Okay, let me give you the secondary benefits here. This 40 reading habit, right? Clearly, English language, where do you think your language skills improve? Yeah, improve. This will also improve when you do extensive reading. There is absolutely no other way of improving your language skill other than doing it. Just take it in writing from me. If you don't do that, you will repent. Yeah, and that's not something that you can build. This it's not a skill that you can build in last 15-20 days. Start from it today, now. Read extensively, read from good sources. And I don't think for a banking student will be a better resource than say Hindu or Business Standard. Go through their business section. When you read these, you will also understand what is happening in economy in general. Why when the currency was depreciating, when the oil prices were going up, what is disinflation, what happens when inflation goes high, what happens when interest, all these things. You will develop a clear knack of all these things when you read regularly, and at the same time you will be improving your English language skill. This channel is filled with quality stuff on English, guys. You can spend your next 6 months and you will have still enough material to cover. Go through this. If you're not good in English, it's imperative that you start urgently. Okay, let's look at the other section which will be directly influenced. This is your descriptive test. Yeah, again, where do you think your if your language writing and reading skills are improving, and if you're enriching yourself with content, will you have problem writing an essay? Yeah, will you be actually loitering around asking for 10 topics, to which will be the top 10 topics which you should focus on? You will say, bring on, give me any topic. Last 6 months I have read and I have understood every single piece of news here. Give me a topic. I will give you the content here, right? And your marks will definitely be more than this 29. You will definitely try to aim for a 40 here. Yeah, but that will happen with some practice. You have to invest time. Look at his marks now. Yeah, this is 31, 22, 29, 30, 30, 60, 20, 83, almost 83, 84 marks out of how much? 104. How much is he scoring just by his GK, GA, and his language skills? Almost 80% of the marks. This guy, 29, yeah, 30, 50, yeah, uh, 59 plus 20, yeah, almost I can assume 80. Yeah, 80 out of what? 108, right? Again, between 70 to 80% just coming from this good reading habits, yeah, and some practice of writing. So what I expect you to do, and there are tons of material on this channel to improve your language and to improve your written skill. Just go through all the content by Ratnavasa here on the channel. he makes it mechanical, guys. Anyone with common sense can understand that and can put into practice and start seeing the result. Trust me, just give it a try. Okay. And what is my expectation for the GK part? In your register, just make the keywords. I hope you have seen in the previous slide, as I had mentioned, I had written very few words instead of writing which state has launched the program of one man, one car, one man policy. No, what did I write? West Bengal, one car, one man. Yeah, as simple as that. So this is the kind of note that I'm expecting you to. It becomes very boring when you have to write long sentences. Just the keyword, it'll be very easy. Yeah. So every single page, try to accommodate at least 50 pieces of information, and you will be able to revise that so quickly. You will be so proud of yourself, and by the time you reach your examination, you have revised so many times. Even the night of examination, you will do 6 8 months in like what, in an hour. Trust me, this happens. I have done it. I'm telling you, first time it might take you 20 minutes, next time it'll take you just 10 minutes, third time maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah, and then you are just scrolling through, you are just kind of turning the pages. That's how it happens. Yeah, so your effort will never go waste. Trust me on that. And finally, when you are reading an important topic, yeah, if you're reading an opinion in Hindu, or say business standard, some some discussion on should the government meddle with the RBI. Try to write on your own. Write on your own, one page daily. Yeah, you will reach a different level in 6 to 8 months. Trust me, and follow all the advices that is there on the channel on writing properly, and you will be a different person in 6 to 8 months. I know, I have taken this to a different territory from where I started, but all these things will help you. Just trust me on that. Okay. So let me just finally appear on the screen. Uh, Please make use of that sheet which is there, the content which are there on this channel for your descriptive writing, for your your improving of the language. They are all interconnected. I have shown you, and that constitute almost 70 to 80% of the marks if you become successful. I'm not saying by any means that do not score or just score 20% there, but this, even scoring just 20% there, by focusing on these, giving it the due, you will be able to clear your examination. Isn't that a good news already? Yeah. And for me, I'll just end with the Pareto's principle. I hope you understand that your most of the 80% of the result come with just 20% of the effort, and that's what most of you are doing. But I'll be little sad that the language etc. they don't even get 10% of the effort. So just increase it a little bit. Give it that at least 20% of the time. Yeah, 25, I'll be really very happy. So out of the 4 hours that you study, give 1 hour at least to your GK, GA, English, uh, and their reading, revision, writing practice. It will come. It will really help you a long way. Yeah, even if you are very good in say maths etc., even more the reason that you also make this section stronger. And if you are weak here, you absolutely do not have a choice, right? You have to make up for everything that you are missing there in this section. And these two successful candidates, they have already shown you the path. On 80% of the score that they have done has come through their good reading habits. Yeah, and then command over GKG, and I have shown you everything that you need to do for it. With that, I will close today. I hope you take the message in the right way, uh, and work on it. Just invest some time on that sheet. Really put in a lot of effort for you guys, and get started today. And don't wait for the notification etc. to come and then think about preparing for all this. Reading, learning will never hurt you. It will only make you better over the course of time. So with that, let me end, and I'll see you again very soon with some more sessions like this. Thank you very much.